and welcome to Solh Talks today. I have a very interesting guest with me, and I'm pretty sure you will be as excited as I am to be in conversation with him. So today I have the founder of the Solh Wellness App, which is Kapil Gupta. I welcome you here, sir. How are you today?
I am doing very well, Kavya. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. So I'll just introduce our audience. The topic for the session today is which is suicide and men. It is a topic that we have a lot of questions about and our audience too. I hope you will be answering all of them for us and getting all the doubts out of our heads today.
Absolutely, to the best of my ability.
Yeah, absolutely. We have full belief in your abilities, and we'll be starting off with the session now. So, my first question to you is about the Solh Wellness app. All have used it, we all have heard about it. How does Solh app comes in play when it comes to prevention of suicide?
See, Solh App is a preventive mental health platform. What we are trying to do is to empower people with tools and solutions that they might require to take care of their mental health. It is self-guided in that sense, and then it is coupled in a huge way with counselings and therapies and peer support amongst other things. So Solh App's core mission is to help people with tools, solutions, therapies, and whatever they may need as they are going through various sorts of mental health issues. They may be minor in nature or they may be major in nature. So anybody who has suicidal thoughts, anybody who is going through a hopeless situation, anybody who is going through a depressed state, they would be able to, or anybody who is normal and just going through a little bit of stress in their life would be able to come to Solh Wellness application and be able to get a personalized, customized set of tools and solutions that may work for them.
Yeah, I have a question about the SOS feature in the app. What is it exactly about? And what if I'm suffering from something extremely difficult time that I'm suffering from? How will that SOS feature help me out?
Sure. So Solh App, as I said, is a holistic set of tools and solutions that are available to people. But a lot of times, specifically when you are thinking about people having mental health issues or people under stress or people undergoing whatever in their life, they don't want to go through all that BS, if you know what I mean. They just want to get help, and I need help right now. Don't tell me I need to go through 3 menus, I need to do a search, I need to identify who I want to. No, I don't want to go through any of that. I need somebody to talk to me right now. That feature for us is an SOS feature where you go in and you simply, and in the SOS feature, we have provided 2 capabilities. One is a capability where you in the past have listed your emergency contacts on the Solh application. So it will message your emergency contacts to get in touch with you, to talk to you, and to handle you. Or you can go there and you can say, I want to talk to somebody separate right now, in which case Solh Wellness app will bring in its first available counselor or first available representative who can come and talk to you and help ease the stress or help ease the situation that you are going through.
Absolutely. I think that would be really helpful if you could get immediate assistance. And at that point of time where you have nobody to go through, I think you would not like to scroll up any menus or anything. You just need the immediate assistance which Solh app is providing. I think that's a great start.
Absolutely.
So before starting the session, it is very important for the audience and for me to understand your perspective about suicide, committing suicide. So basically, how will you sum up? What is suicide, committing suicide to you?
See, that's a very loaded question, and my response is probably going to be not in line with what a lot of others may say. I divide suicide in multiple parts. Okay, there is a suicide that people do because of a chemical imbalance, and they are going through certain mental health disorders, and they're chemically imbalanced. I don't support that. I think these people should be provided help as soon as possible. I think these people need support. So in that sense, suicide prevention is a must-have. Number 2 is a suicide that people go through because they are going through a depressed state. Okay? They are in the state of what is called as clinical depression.
Right.
I don't support that. I think these people should be provided support. These people should be given the opportunity to come back. These people need to be helped. Then there is a third kind of suicide prevention or suicide, which I call as suicide for passion. An army man throwing himself in the line of fire because there is something, and I always keep saying, You need to be, if I in my life would want to identify that one thing that I'm so passionate about that I'm willing to give my life up for it. Now,
Okay.
that's in the sense that that is suicide. That's what people choose. Okay. The
Okay.
fourth kind of suicide, in my view, could be a suicide that a person is looking at. And no, there is a point of time when somebody evolved. It can't be somebody not evolved. When somebody evolved may come to a state in their life where they say, I think I have achieved everything that this life had to offer, or that I could offer to this life and this world. I
Right.
don't think I have anything more to do anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
That suicide, I don't have a problem with that. Okay. Now, let me again be very clear. It should not be for the purposes of a chemical imbalance. It should not be for the purposes of somebody having a disorder, and it definitely should not be in the state of depression. Okay. In fact, in ancient Hindu mythology, this particular state of suicide is called as samadhi. And some of the most renowned people, some of the most renowned mythological or historic characters in Hinduism would probably have gone through the state of samadhi. In fact, depending on which Bible you read and how you interpret it, suicide is what Jesus went through. So in that sense, suicide could be a state that you accept either because of a passion, or because of you thinking you have contributed enough and don't have anything more, or because of certain other reason. Any suicide that is done for the purposes of depression, for the purposes of chemical imbalance, for the purposes of a mental health disorder, I absolutely think they need to be supported. Okay. So, and I gave you a longish answer on this because, when I was asked to talk about this subject, I was very clear. I can't go anywhere and say I, don't like, or I want to be opposing every kind of suicide. I don't. Okay. However, there are limitations, there are boundaries, and so that's how I look at suicide.
So you're not truly glorifying suicide, nor you're truly supporting it. Is that so?
Absolutely not glorifying it, absolutely not supporting it. And I don't think most people in this world should be given an opportunity to say that they have reached that state, that evolved state, that they are now deciding. It need to have boundaries to it. It need to have a structure to it. And I'm just saying, I'm as pro-death as I am pro-life.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just saying that I'm as pro-death as I am pro-life. But there needs to, of course, be boundaries and everything around this.
I truly agree about the fact that you said your perspective about suicide will be slightly different from other people I've ever heard, and I think I totally agree on the fact. So let's move on to another question, shall we?
Sure.
Yeah. So as we're talking about suicide in men, there are many facts that state that men has a high risk of committing suicide as compared to women. What are your views on that? Do you think suicides are higher when it comes to men rather than women?
Well, it's not a question of what I think. The statistics speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Suicide rate in men are 2 to 3 times higher than suicide rates in women. Okay, and that's a huge problem. I mean, we keep talking about the abuses that women face. We keep talking about the challenges that women face. We keep talking about the oppression amongst women. And I'm absolutely not saying that or any of those are lies. They are facts in themselves. But the other side of the story is also that we have created such terrible, call it social structure, and such terrible beliefs in our lifestyles that men do not take help from anybody. Men tend to be bottled up about everything that they are facing in life. They have egos, they have arrogance, they have their own masculinity to prevent. So they don't take support from anywhere. Also, they are considered as people responsible for resolving. I mean, it's I don't want to talk about a state of inequality. I'm just talking about the state of affairs as it currently is. Okay? And the current state of affairs says men are responsible for resolving family issues.
Right.
Men are responsible for resolving financial issues. Men are responsible for resolving whatever challenges life throws at them. They can't go to anybody to say, I can't deal with it, you handle it. Hence, there is a larger probability, a larger possibility, a larger onus in that sense, where men will get burdened, men will get, drenched with it, and there will always be a higher tendency of them to commit suicide. That's the ground reality of where we are today. Do we need to change that? We need to change this as much as we need to talk about feminism, and as much as we need to create equality in society. Well, I mean, to look at it differently, a state of equality in society will probably handle it by itself. But we are clearly not there yet.
Absolutely, we're not there yet. Moving on, so we're talking about so much in society, and we have heard your opinion, which is slightly different from other people. So my question to you is, can you ever see yourself committing suicide someday?
I hope so. I hope, and I'm saying I hope so for 3 reasons. Number one, that will mean I will have a reasonably longish life. Number two, that would mean that I would have fulfilled, either I would have fulfilled everything that I wanted to do, and now, I would be at a state where I wouldn't have anything more to contribute, or alternately, which is the third point, I would be so passionate about something that I would be willing to give up my life for it. It's probably, getting to a state where I would want to commit suicide for any of these 2 reasons. I think that will be the state of nirvana for me. That would be the ultimate state of anything that I could ever think of. If I ever get to that state because of a chemical imbalance or depression, please stop me. Okay, though I don't think that would happen, but if I get there because of depression or chemical imbalance, please do stop me. But if I'm there because I have fulfilled whatever I needed to in my life, or because I'm so passionate, I want to, challenge and maybe put my life at stake for something, by all means, I would love to be in that state.
Do you think we as a society have started cornering men and their mental health?
I don't think we have done enough. I don't think we have done almost anything at all to look at the challenges of men and their mental health. Okay. And, I don't want to get into a debate of feminism versus men. But a lot of the conversations that are happening in the society right now are about equality as it comes to women, equality as it comes to transgenders, equality as it comes to LGBTQ, equality as it comes to, different races. Nobody is talking about equality as it relates to men, equality as it relates to the sharing of responsibility, equality as it relates to sharing the kind of burdens that push men towards suicide. Have we as a society done anything to tackle the problem or the challenges of suicide amongst men? We certainly haven't. Are the other things going to contribute towards that? Well, in some way they will, but there is a long way to go. And I think this is a problem that probably need a little more head-on support. The entire issue of mental health in men is extremely taboo. Okay, women are still allowed to overflow with emotions. Women are still allowed to share their life. Women are still allowed to seek support. Men in our society are not allowed to, not at all allowed to. It's the I know it's a lot of people may not like this example, but that's the that's the hijab that men are forced to wear, a hijab of I got things under control. And a lot of times they don't. A lot of times they need that help, they need that support. And if you will look at the suicide rate amongst men, you would realize that the suicide rate amongst men happens for all different kinds of reasons. It happens amongst all different sets of communities. It happens amongst all different kinds of socio-economic strata. So it's not limited to you need to work through this one challenge or this one group. It's a stigma that is associated with mental health for men that causes this problem.
So as we were talking about men and their challenges when it comes to society, I think we as a society play a huge role in the fact that they are being cornered. The common say that we always have is the fact is men don't cry and they're not supposed to show emotions. And when it comes to women, we generally call you, are you a girl, you're crying? And we always I make that inequality in the fact that men can't cry, and that's the time we're asking them to close their emotions. And I
Mhm.
truly agree on the fact that you say society has played a huge role in the fact that men are like that.
Yep.
So, moving on to the next question that I have, we know about all the challenges, we know about everything, society and everything. What could be the next step? How can we get over the fact that is already we have created as a society? How can the stigma move away?
Yeah, I'm so tempted to say the next step is soul wellness. Uh, but let me not say, while yes, that is the next step. The next step is providing capabilities like soul wellness. The next step is providing capabilities that empower men to be able to seek mental health support.
Right.
The removal of stigma is far away. While we should ongoingly work towards that, I don't think that's a challenge that would be resolved anytime soon. So the answer really is to create solutions like soul wellness that are put out in the society where people are able to go in, seek support anonymously. Nobody needs to know I was going through this. I don't need to, remove social stigma for me to get this, but I'm getting that support. Okay.
Right.
So getting that or creating that system, that structure, wherein people can, men specifically, can get that support. Men can talk to others. Men can participate in support groups, share their experiences and get help. Men can get a counselor or a therapist or somebody else to work with them. Providing those are the real challenges or the real solutions that we need to tackle at this point of time, which is, and that's something that really excites me about soul wellness. Soul wellness absolutely is not limited to men. Please don't look at it that way. It's for everybody. It wants to challenge the current status or the current structure of how people look at mental health. But soul wellness and the such kind of platform, then there are multiple such platforms that are coming up. I think soul wellness in its thought process is a little more evolved than a lot of the other ones. But let me not shamelessly sell soul wellness here. I think providing and providing these tools, empowering people with these tools that they can use for their luxury, tools that they can use for their comfort, tools that they can use anonymously, tools that they can customize to provide solution that they require. It doesn't come with a package. You have to take the entire package. If we can do that, and if we can create visibility and awareness around that, I think it will go a long way in improving mental health, not just for men, but for the entire society. It will definitely help with taking the stigma out piece by piece. Every time a man is going to go take that support, the stigma level in the society will go down 10 points. Every time a man is going to go in and accept that they need support, the stigma level goes down. And that's really what excites me about this entire structure that we are creating and this entire point of view that has started evolving in the world. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to express yourself when you are not okay. And it's absolutely okay to take support when you are not okay.
Right. As you said, soul wellness is for everyone. What do you mean by that? Because if I don't have any issues when it comes to my mental health, is soul wellness still for me?
Oh, absolutely.
How is that?
Absolutely. Everybody in every way that you think is a potential candidate for going towards a cycle of depression or for going towards a state of suicide. Everybody has stress. Okay. Everybody has challenges. Everybody has problems that they are facing. You
Right.
can't get out of it. It's there. So, in that sense, I mean, do you need soul wellness right now and your life will break if you don't have it right now? Maybe not. But would it help? Would it improve you as an individual? Will it make you happier as a person? Will it make you more productive, more efficient? Will it give you better, better point of view to look at the world or better ability to be able to provide that kind of support to other people? I think yes. And that is where, I mean, for us, and we talk about this concept of psychological capital.
Right.
Okay. That is where we think you use soul wellness today because you want to increase your psychological capital. And for every increase in your psychological capital, you will get an ability to be able to utilize that psychological capital next time you have a problem, or to be able to utilize this psychological capital when you see somebody else going through that or any sort of problem, and you can be a pillar of support for them. See, one challenge that men face, and it's I was just talking to somebody in North America yesterday, and the person asked me, what do you think is the average time that it takes for a person having, going through an incident, going through a trauma, going through a challenge, and then seeking support? Average time. And average time, we are only talking about people that finally took support. There must be a lot that didn't even. And in North America, where therapy is, reasonably acceptable now, in North America, that number is 11 years.
11 years, that's too
11
high.
years. It's not 11 months, it's 11 years. So, and on an average, a person lives with what they went through for 11 years. So we call it, somebody goes through and seeks support when the pain breaks through the stigma. So they know there is a stigma, and they know they have pain, but the pain is smaller than the stigma. It takes 11 years for this pain to break through the stigma. And that is when the individual goes out and seeks support. For me, that support should be available to you as a choice. You don't have to compulsorily go to therapy every week or every day or whatever. I'm definitely not promoting, definitely not supporting that. But you have the tools available with you. You are aware of the help and support that you can get. And then you live your life knowing that you have that. Number one, knowing that you have that help available with you will probably make you more mentally peaceful, or give you better sense of mental control anyway. And then using those tools will give you that next sense of ability to get through issues or to go through stress. I can definitely promise you, there is nobody that is ever going to appear in the world, nobody that is ever going to create a utopian state where you won't have stress in your life, where you won't have challenges in your life. That is inorganic life. That is a state of vegetation. It's not a state of nirvana, it's a state of vegetation. That's not a utopian world, that's the end of the world. You will always have stress, you will always have challenges. The question is, are you empowered enough to cruise through them, to accept them as they come?
And I would thank you so much for being a part of Solh Talks today. I had an amazing session. I hope you did too. And all our audience who are listening to us, I hope you had a wonderful time, just like me. And if you have any other questions, you can come and directly DM us to our social platform, Solh App Official. We'll be looking forward to answer you all. And if you want to know more about the founder of the Solh Wellness App, you can also follow him and just come have a conversation with him and have a great time. And thank you so much. And thank you so much, Mr. Kapil Gupta, for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Kavya. I wasn't sure if this is a session that I should take on, because I know my views are reasonably controversial. But I think we did it well. I think people will enjoy it. I think people will get a fresher perspective to think about it. Once again, I want to be very clear. I do not support suicide. However, I can see situations where people do it out of an empowered state of being. That I support. That for me is being pro-death as much as I am pro-life. So thank you so much, Kavya.
Thank you, everybody. And I'm Kavya Sharma signing off. And I hope to see you very soon back on our platform with such more controversial and such more amazing topic coming up with Mr. Kapil Gupta very soon. So bye-bye, everyone. Have a great day.